What's going on, guys? My name is Nick and welcome back to Olsen Auto. If you're new to the channel and you haven't seen my latest acquisition, click that card in the upper right corner. You guys can go watch the video where we drive to Springfield, Mass, and then the guy drives it back. It actually runs pretty good. It doesn't run good, but it starts first kick. It has good compression. If you guys remember, I bought the bike, riding, as it was a whole bike. I don't know if I need a therapist or an accountant or both. But I pretty much fully disassembled the bike, got all the plastics off, the pipe, the whole intake system, the rear subframe. I'm going to go over in this video what's wrong. We're going to fix some of the oil leaks. Got some new parts right here. We're going to fix some of the oil leaks, or all the oil leaks actually. And then hopefully maybe get the pipe clean up some of the plastics a bit. We're just going to see what we can do. But first I want to go over what's bad with this bike, why I got the new parts, and why I think this bike was actually an amazing deal. So one of the first big issues that's going to control how this bike runs is this intake boot right here. Now I actually accidentally ordered this carb boot, which goes into the air box. It goes on the other side. Whoopsie daisy. Well, I'm sure we could use it. That goes in one of these plastics somewhere. So that is bad. It's super dry rotted, means it's going to let in extra unmetered air, and unmetered air obviously means you're going to run a bit too lean, I think. Lean or rich, I think it's lean. It's not going to run right, it's going to idle high, you're getting too much air. So I have another one of those on order. It'll be here in about 10 days, if not less, which is pretty sweet. Also, the air filter was shot, so I ordered a new air filter. I got that carb boot. I have the other half of the carb boot. The exhaust was super loose, if you guys saw in the last video. It was missing the gasket that goes here. It's just this little one right here. It slides on and goes in between the pipe and the silencer. It also had two blown out O-rings on the half going into the engine, which I have two new ones right, yeah, that's one of them. There we go. Got these two. Those are going to go in the exhaust and snug it up. And then hopefully this will make everything bolt up, line right up. We're going to be cleaning up the pipe. It's filthy. I would like to get a new pipe before racing season starts. But for now, just trying to tune the bike and get it dialed so I could at least ride it if I had to. And then in the future, we'll go ahead. We'll do new spark plug, new coolant flush. We're going to do all that before a race starts. But hopefully I can get a new pipe soon. Anywho, another one of the big issues is it is actually leaking case oil out of the transmission to countershaft. That's what it's called on the parts diagram. It's your countershaft, and it's leaking from behind the front sprocket. Now luckily, very easy to take off. It's a lock ring. Sprocket comes off, you pull the seal out, put a new seal on, you're all set to go. It is also leaking clutch fluid from behind the slave cylinder, and I have both of those pieces to fix it. This is that countershaft seal right here. And then in here we have the clutch slave cylinder gasket, this little paper something. So these are gonna fix my oil leak issue. This will fix my fitment issue, and then I can't really fix the running issue. The carb is mint, guys. Throttle has perfect response. There's literally no dead play, so I don't think that's wrong. I think that's good. So I think it's the intake boot and possibly on the clutch letting extra air into the system. Definitely not helping. Another big problem, you'll notice the subframe is off. If I can find the subframe, I actually have not the slightest clue where the subframe went. Anywho, this is the old air filter. Obviously, we're going to be replacing that. That one's on order. I'm really trying to find that subframe so I can show you what's wrong with that. So this is the subframe. Relatively straight. I mean, that it's supposed to be bent like that. Different welded angles, obviously. But the issue is right about there. Big old gnarly crack. So since it's aluminum, I have to get it TIG welded. Not a big deal. Can definitely get that done. But it does mean that I have to do it. The rear wheel bearing is beyond shot. Got to replace that. Again, not a priority. I'm trying to get the engine healthy and running fine before I do that. The steering bearings, it's hard to show on camera, but they're very notchy. You can feel it for sure. Steering bearings are shot. Front wheel bearing is kind of okay. It's good enough to ride. I'd definitely race it for the season, but at the end it's got to get replaced. So what we're doing in this video, we're fixing our oil leak. We're going to clean up the pipe, get the exhaust all situated, and then we should be good to start it back up again. See if it runs any better with the oil leak fixed. Probably won't, but that's what we're doing. We also have to fix this bar clamp. Let me show you guys. right there, it's a 2-bolt style bottom bar clamp, and only 1 bolt on each side. So I have to get a new bar clamp set up for the Pro Taper contour bars that I'm getting, which are 1 1/8 oversized. I gotta get bark busters, because these are just, A, they're brush guards, they're gonna do nothing, and B, they're zip tied on. But I think this bike was an amazing deal. It has awesome compression. All the bones of the bike are very structurally straight, which is all I really care about. I can always fix an engine. Everything seems to be good. Again, I'm going to pop the chain off right now. We're going to go at that countershaft seal, replace that. I'm going to move the CBR a little bit because she's looking extra clean and I don't want to get her dirty. But yeah, so we're going to pop the chain off, front sprocket, replace the countershaft seal, replace the clutch slave gasket. Probably have to bleed the clutch again. Throw the exhaust on, or clean up the exhaust and then throw the exhaust on with the new seals. Hopefully all that goes well. And then we're going to clean up the plastics, try to get this dumb orange stripe off the wheels, and just really get this bike back to where it should be for a KTM. So I'm going to take this little boot rub guard off. It's held on by 1 zip tie and a half threaded bolt. There we go. And then it's this half threaded bolt. I think it's a 6mm. Everything on this bike is a 6mm, by the way, which is super annoying. Alright, got that little bolt off. And then, there you go. Comes right off. Now we gotta find the master link and pop that chain off. It's one of these. I hope it's... oh, right there. So this right here is gonna be the first fighter of the day. I got the clip off, but this outside piece will not come off no matter what I do, so that's fun. A little bit of prying and that clip is off. Go ahead, push this out, and now the chain's separated. Gonna pull the chain off, take off the little lock ring thing off the front sprocket, pull the sprocket off, and then hopefully the seal is right there. So with the chain off, inspecting some of these sliders right here, they all look pretty decent, and the guide on the bottom, which is sweet. There's a little lock snap ring right there. Gonna put this in between, pinch out, and then it'll pull off, take off the sprocket, and then the seal should be right behind it. Theoretically, hey, it worked. Cool, so somewhere in that oily bullshit mess, there is a seal. This is our front sprocket, which isn't even that worn, so that's pretty good. Old lock ring. Oh my gosh. Yikes. Use the old seal puller. Oh my god. I think I see why it leaks. So somebody put black RTV behind the old seal to get it to stop leaking. That's what this is. I thought this felt like silicone. Then I realized it is silicone. So now I guess we're going to look into it, make sure nothing behind that seal is busted up, and then throw the new seal in. A little advice when you're putting on a seal like this. This is the new one. Obviously just took off the old one. Put some oil on it. Obviously the bike was leaking oil, so I just grabbed some oil from right there and just spread it around the rubber so this never dry rots and sticks itself to this. Pulled out the little washer thing right there, cleaned it up. Gonna put this on, and then the O-ring that I just took off right there. I think the O-ring goes on second. I don't know why there's an O-ring, but we're gonna put this on. Gonna put on the seal, and then the O-ring, and then spacer, front sprocket, lock ring, snap ring, chain. I guess while everything's off, go at the clutch slave too. So this little spacer doodad here has a pretty bad wear mark in it, and our current hypothesis is that the seal, which sits on this goes on with the spot for the O-ring in there. Our theory is that has a little groove in it, leaks oil because of that little groove, so the seal doesn't sit properly. So just need to get another one of these. My bet is it's under 10 bucks. We're gonna go check. Not gonna put this back together, but I will do the clutch slave while I'm here, and then obviously the whole exhaust system, try to clean that up. But we're not gonna be reassembling this time, just because it wouldn't make sense to put the seal on that if this is what's bad, not the seal. You dig? So I ordered a new one of those bushings and O-rings. That'll come in forever from now, but it will come in hopefully. Gonna pop off the slave cylinder. Hope I don't get squirted in the eye with mineral spirits, and hopefully replace that gasket. Simple, simple. So usually, right, when you have liquid, metal on metal, you have a gasket. There was no gasket here. I didn't have to scrape any gasket material, so my guess is someone just never put this gasket on. So you wonder why your clutch leaks. Homie, there's no gasket. New gasket is on. I'm going to clean up the little metal cover that was on it, make it look all pretty. Going to clean up back here while it's all open, and then bolt her up and fix that leak, which is sweet. And then I might pop it off this stand, take off the skid plate and clean that up so we know if she leaks oil anymore. Alright, with the clutch slave back on, clutch feels, well, clutchy. Hopefully that oil leak is fixed. What I'm going to do now, clean up this pipe, get all the dirt and oil off it, get the old seals off, pop the new seals on, and then hopefully take the bike off the stand, pop that skid plate off the bottom, clean it out so we can tell when we fix the oil leaks. I'm waiting for those parts to come in. And then just keep chipping away at it, fixing whatever needs to be fixed. Gonna see how fast we can get this bike riding again. Also gonna take these orange pinstripes off, which is gonna be absolute hell. Pipe is a little bit cleaner. Went at it with this wire wheel and some Scotch-Brite and some brake clean. Definitely much better. Lightly brake cleaned the carbon fiber pipe guard. Probably going to get a newer one of these. This one is super beat up and destroyed. And I'm hopefully getting a new pipe as well. But I'm going to throw some new gaskets on that. Put the exhaust fully back on. And then go at those tire stickers. And then the skid plate. Those tire stickers are going to suck. These two O-rings. So throw these O-rings right on there. Maybe put some oil on them just so they're not dry. And then put the pipe on. Just spent another $100 in parts. I got steering bearings. I went to bolt up the exhaust. We're actually missing, it's a little rubber piece, just like this. Another one of these things. It's sort of like a flex pipe, if you will. And it's supposed to bolt here. And I'm missing that. So I ordered one of those. It's like $20. KTM tax is starting to hit, but I've only spent $230 in parts today. Not too bad. Anyway, bunch of parts ordered. Got the skid plate off. Gonna clean that up. It's just puking transmission fluid. I also ordered some proper case oil, the stuff that the KTM manual recommends. I think another $800 and this bike will be brand new, ready for the woods. So I'll be in it for about 3. Have all the goodies I want. The pipe, the bark busters, everything. I need to get tires. I want to get tires, but hopefully we're going to clean that up and then just keep cleaning, disassembling what I have to, and making sure nothing else is too terribly broken. I feel like I'm one of those hibachi chefs. So the skid plate is a lot cleaner right now. That'll tell you if it's leaking any oil or not. Not going to put it back on because obviously, that thing is so loud. Obviously, with all this oil still leaking out of our counter shaft, it wouldn't make sense to put the fresh, clean thing back on. So, not going to do that. Going to take off the shifter now and unbend that, and then just keep going over. I might clean up the engine a bit, get it looking all pretty. Had to use the old breaker bar, but a little tap with that, the impact wouldn't get it. But this is about to make a mess. I will guarantee you that. Huh. It's a, oh no. Yeah, there's nothing I can really do about that besides speedy dry. You wanna get this? I would successfully say more is on the floor than in the drain pan. I'll admit it, I thought I would hear it run again today because I didn't realize how much I was missing. But I believe I've ordered everything I need to make this bike rip ass through the woods. Maybe. Probably not. More of the oil ended up outside the drain pan than inside of it. But with the oil drained, steering bearings ordered, wheel bearings ordered, all the stuff to mount up the exhaust, all the stuff to fix the oil leak, the clutch leak fixed. Well, it was leaking transmission fluid out of the clutch. Transmission fluid drained and ordered. Still have to focus on finding a bar clamp and bar setup. I want to run the Pro Taper Contours, I think, because they're nice, thick, oversized 1 1/8 bars. Should be running rideable, where it doesn't have a crazy high idle pretty soon. Got the intake boot as well. Bunch of other little stuff. Nothing fun yet. I want to order a pipe soon. I got to look into the rear chain slider. That one is bent. If you guys want to look at that, she's a little tweaked. And it's probably not the right one. It doesn't bolt up perfectly. Could use a chain guide, slider up there, It needs some stuff, but I never even got around to taking those orange pinstripes off. I'm going to do that off camera because that's going to be an absolute nightmare. I think I'm going to wrap this video up here. I made a mess of the garage, and that's about it. That's about what we did today. So if you guys want to see me race this bike, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, because come 21, this thing is going to be hitting the woods, and it's going to make 5 minutes before I crash it, if we're lucky. I'm going to have GoPro footage of all my upcoming races, so that's going to be awesome. If you guys like this video, be sure to drop a like. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button. Comment down below what kind of bike you ride, and if you're this deep in, I'm not happy how deep I am in. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.